Welcome back to Community Focus. Hello, I'm Kenny Fogle. Glad you could be with us today, and we still got a lot of action-packed talk to going on here today. And as I mentioned, the new year, got a new mayor. Bardstown, City of Bardstown is looking at a new mayor this year, and Mayor John Royalty is with us. And Mayor, well, first of all, congratulations. I mean, I know you had had a tough race, and it's never easy, but you come away with a victory, and now you're in the big chair.
In the big chair, yeah. I'm very happy with the way the race turned out. I'm very happy with the margin of the win, and by that the people spoke, and I think they spoke very loudly. So I'm ready to go to work.
Just in the past week or so, I've talked to the firefighters. They said you've been to the firefighter training. I've talked to the utility crews. They said at nights when they're out and several of the lights that went out, you've been out there with them. And I know when I called you the other day, you'd actually been down in the sewer because you dropped your phone in the sewer. And I said, "What kind of mayor do we? He's right out there, hands on. I got to give you that."
Well, and I had to go after the iPhone. I had to go. I had to have that. So yeah, it was that was ugly, but yeah. I've been out there. I've talked to the department heads, which I'm hands-on. Even when I was on the council, I went and visited those departments. But yeah, it's looking good. We have some issues that we really have to take care of. You know, we have these interlocal agreements with the rec and the planning and zoning and the dispatch board and the fire board. There's a lot of problems that's left open, and we got to close those doors and get back on track.
Okay, well, you're making a big move right now from the council to the mayor's seat, and being a council person is different from being the mayor.
Absolutely.
So what do you see as how? And I know one of the big issues you had when we were talking about it when you were running was the relationship between the mayor and the council. So is the council going to look differently under Mayor John Royalty than it did before?
Yeah, and it's when people come in, there's different styles of leadership, and my style is going to be very open. I have to, and I will keep the council informed, and you don't have to. The mayor has his job, and the council has theirs, but to make it work smoothly, the council has to be informed, even what your job and what you're doing. They have to know, and I think it's only fair to the council members. And I think the other mayor that really done well on that was Dixie Hibbs, and Mayor Dick Heaton. I think did well with that, and I'm gonna do that. Maybe even go out even further on that, and I need to keep the council informed and to make sound decisions.
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, you rattled off a few things a few minutes ago, and the mayor's job is so diverse. I mean, you've got so many, not only so many different departments, but so many different issues coming up on a regular basis. Like I said, you not only deal with your department heads, you're dealing with the county fiscal court, you have to deal with the planning and zoning, you have to deal with state government. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't see how this can be considered a part-time job.
They consider it that, but there is no way that it should ever be, because I kind of look at it as a corporation, and you're in a $46 million corporation. I don't know any CEOs that come in and work a few hours a day and then go home and do another job, and that's something that I would vow to do. But in this job, you got to kind of draw the fine line of, you don't want to micromanage your department heads, but they have to let you know what they're doing and a direction that you want to go for the city. And I think it's very important that it be done that way. What I'd really like to do is, after the first of the year, I want to get with County Judge Executive Dean Watts. I know all the magistrates very well, know Dean. I want to get that relationship back together. I want to start having a conversation. I want us to start having meetings, and where we can discuss things openly, and where they know what we're doing, what they are doing, and where we don't. If we have to cross, then we can cross and come together in an agreement. And I think that's where we need to be. And it hasn't been that way. It's in the last 4 years, I've noticed it's been us and them, and I don't like us and them. We're all here community based, and we're elected for the community. We're elected to work for the community, and it's not my town. It's your town. It's not mine.
Well, I know you get out amongst the people quite a bit, but I'm sure in the last few weeks, ever since the election, your phone's probably been ringing off the hook. Everybody's got an issue, and everybody wants to fix this, fix that, and that's tough to handle.
I may have to go for a bigger plan with more minutes. So yes, I think it has. It's rang a lot with even with city employees calling, and everybody wants to give their input and their opinion, and I value that from an employee. So, yeah.
Well, I know I've heard several times, I'll be in meetings now, so we're going to talk to the new mayor on that. We're going to talk to the new mayor on that. So he's only got so much time and so much ability, but apparently you have to have a lot of energy to be in this job.
Well, and I'll schedule them as they come, and if it requires to be there after hours, if you want to come at 6 or 7, I'll meet you there. It doesn't matter. It's what it takes to get the job done and to make this city work more easily than it has in the past.
Well, you've been in private business, you've been in law enforcement, you've been in government, so I'm sure all of those will play some role in how you approach this job as mayor. I mean, it's because mayor is a leadership job. At the same time, you've got to manage people. You
got to manage people, and there are going to be some subtle changes because of my business. I think should it's the way it should be ran and to make checks and balances work out. And I think those are subtle changes. It's going to has to be made.
And you mentioned a few minutes ago, I think you said $40-some million budget.
About $46 million, I think.
That's a pretty big budget, and obviously, people are. You're always getting questions about where the money comes from and how the money's being spent, and putting just the simple fact of putting a budget together has to be a monumental task.
Exactly, and give one good example about that, Kenny, is recently we're I think. Mayor Sheckler was going to have maybe this negotiation between the TV affiliates worked out, and people, when they get an increase on their cable bill of $2 or $3, they think that we're doing that as a city. We are not doing it, people. We're not doing it. It's when ABC, CBS, all these big TV affiliates are saying that we're going to now, for us to have them, their TV channel on our cable, we have to pay them. And that's what it is, and it's kind of a pass through. We're not making any extra money on it, and if they're charging us so many dollars extra, then we figured out, and this is the extra that we have to pass it on to you to pay. It's not. Well, it's not us.
Well, even at that, and I'll do a little commercial here right now. It's still cheaper than some of the satellite systems that's out there right now. So the cable to me is the best bargain there is.
It is, and believe it or not, it really is. It's the best bargain that it is, and the city has good services. We do.
Well, again, when you're getting into this, and I didn't even think about the cable TV part of it, but you got utilities to worry about. You got to. Well, when the lights go out at night, somebody's going to point the direction, but the buck stops with the leader. So many times you'll get blamed for things that out of your control. But,
well, if you follow me on my Facebook page, I did put a little photograph of the little culprit that knocked out half the city or 3/4 of the city. So and those are things that are happening. And as soon as that happened, I got a few calls, and I went and picked up Councilman Simpson, and we took off and we rode and found some other problems, and but that's what we do, and that's our job, and to look and not to do their job, but you got to be there and find out.
So it's time for you got 4 years of this coming up, and I know it's going to be you're not going to get everything done in the first week or two. Obviously, you got plans. I'm sure long-term plans of what John Royalty administration is going to look like, and it's going to just one step at a time, I suppose.
One step at a time, and I'm starting on my second legal pad of notes. It's going to be a big change from being on the council and being in the mayor's seat. It's a big change, but I look at it like this again. I'm going to still rely and get my information from the council. I want to get their input. And if a bad decision is made, they're not going to be able to say the mayor did this. They're going to say the council made this decision. Right. But with the people I have on there, I think we're good.
Like everybody else, I'll keep my little list of things to call you on, so I know how to get a hold of you.
Give me a call.
Well, we got here with Mayor John Royalty of the city of Bardstown, and we're going to wish you all the best over the next several years. And we know it's not an easy job. If it was, anybody could do it, but you were elected to do a job, and I think a lot of people are appreciative of the fact that you've stepped up to do that and ready for some leadership.
Yeah, and when you're elected, you have to give your heart and soul, and you have to do it. It's a public service job, and I've been in public service all my life, and I think it's a job that you just you got to step up and you got to give your whole heart into it.
Done a lot
And
of
that's
great
what I've
mayors
done.
in the city of Bardstown. I was up there a few weeks ago looking at the pictures on the wall going all the way back to the start of Bardstown, and then there's been a very illustrious group, and so I don't want to be one of them to welcome you to that illustrious group.
Well, there's big shoes to fill to be put on that wall. So.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you being here, and thanks a lot, and we thank you. And,
Thank you, Kenny.
We appreciate John Royalty stopping by, and again, we're getting ready to start a new year, so it's time for new government in the city of Bardstown. So stick around, a lot more to come on Community Focus. We have more interviews, and we're going to be doing this every week, so hope you'll stick around. We hope we can keep you entertained and educated right here on Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV. Be right back.